The battle between Michael Jackson and Rick James. Version 2, The Rumor. It started as a joke in a Detroit recording studio at 3 a.m. Rick James was laying down bass for a B-side, half shirtless, half awake, and fully convinced he was the funkiest man alive. Between takes he said it, "Ain't nobody out funking Super Freak. Not Prince. Not James Brown. Not even that glove-wearing kid from Gary." Across the country in Los Angeles, Michael Jackson was in his home studio on Havenhurst, listening to playback of Smooth Criminal. His engineer mentioned the interview Rick did with Rolling Stone. Michael listened once, smiled, and said, "He's got fire, I like fire." By morning, a radio DJ in New York stitched the two clips together. By noon, it was on every station. By midnight, the Apollo Theater announced it, one night only. The battle. Michael Jackson versus Rick James. Winner takes the title, King of Funk and Pop. No one booked it. No one signed contracts. The Apollo just printed posters, and somehow both men showed up. The arrival Harlem smelled like rain and fried chicken. A line wrapped around 125th Street at 4 p.m. for an 8 p.m. show. Kids skipped school. Grandmas brought folding chairs. Rick arrived first in a custom Eldorado, top-down, fur coat despite the June heat. His entourage spilled out with him, guitars, amps, backup singers in leather. He walked the block, slapping hands, signing napkins, yelling, "Y'all ready to get freaky?" Michael came in a plain black van. No entourage. Just him, his choreographer, and his musical director, Greg Fillinganes. He stepped out in jeans and a plain white tee, hat in hand. The crowd parted without him asking. A little girl handed him a flower. He tucked it behind his ear and bowed. Backstage, they passed each other in the hallway. "Rick, heard you moonwalk, cute." "Michael, heard you on a fretboard, respect." They nodded, no handshake, not yet. Round one, the groove, house lights died. The Apollo's band, the best house band in New York, sat under a single amber light. Rick exploded through the curtain. No intro music, just him and his Gibson SG. He hit the opening lick of Super Freak and the floor became a trampoline. He prowled the stage, boots stomping, voice half sing, half growl. He pulled the front row into the song, pointing, calling, making strangers sing call and response. For 7 minutes he didn't stop. "Mary Jane, give it to me, baby," cold-blooded. Each one dirtier, sweatier, looser than the last. He ended round one by throwing his pick into the crowd and sliding across the stage on his knees. The Apollo shook, then silence. One pinned spot. Michael walked out from stage left. He didn't acknowledge the applause, he listened to it, head tilted. He handed his hat to a stagehand. The band hit a click, 4 beats. Michael's heel, tap, 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 tap. He opened with "Wanna Be Startin' Something." Not the vocal, just the beat. He became the percussion, shoulder pop on the snare, chest pop on the kick, finger snap on the hi-hat. He moved so precisely that Greg Fillinganes stopped playing for 2 bars just to watch. The band didn't miss a beat. They followed him. He finished with the moonwalk, but he didn't travel. He stayed in a 3-foot square of light and made it look like the earth moved under him. The crowd didn't scream, they gasped. Scoreboard in everyone's head, Rick won, Michael won. Round 2, the voice. Rick took the mic stand and bent it. "Y'all want pretty, I got pretty. Y'all want real, I got real too." He launched into a blues run that turned into "You and I." His voice cracked on purpose, then healed itself, then cracked again. It was whiskey, smoke, and church. He held the last note until his face turned red and the audience felt like they might pass out. He stepped back, chest heaving, and stared at Michael. "Your turn, Silk." Michael closed his eyes. When he opened them, he wasn't looking at Rick. He was looking past him at the back wall, at something only he could see. The intro to Human Nature started soft, just keys and bass. He didn't belt. He didn't need to. He used dynamics like a painter uses brush strokes. Whisper on the verse, full voice on the chorus. A falsetto on "Why" that made the women in the balcony clutch their pearls. On the bridge he did something no record had, a run that dipped, climbed, and landed on a note so pure it made the house engineer check his board. He finished with his back to the crowd, shoulders rising and falling once. Then he turned and bowed. The Apollo was dead quiet for 3 seconds. Then it detonated. Scoreboard, Rick 2. Michael 2. Round 3, the stage. This was Rick's territory, he knew it. He came out in a new coat, purple velvet, gold trim. He had dancers now. 3 women, 3 men, all in syncopation with him. He did the splits. He played guitar behind his back. He crowd-surfed during bustin' out. A security guard tried to catch him. Rick winked and kept going. He ended by grabbing the Apollo's house curtain and ripping a 3-foot strip off. He tied it around his head like a bandana and threw the rest into the crowd. "I'm the mothership, and the mothership don't land," Michael watched from the wings. He turned to his choreographer and said one word, "Wait." When his music started, it wasn't a song. It was a sound effect, a heartbeat. Michael stood center stage and didn't move for 10 seconds. The heartbeat got louder. His chest started to move with it, then his shoulder, then his arm. He did the robot but slower, like he was underwater. Then the lights cut, strobe. In the flashes you saw him, hat, glove, lean, 45 degrees, no wires. The audience swore he was defying gravity. When the lights came back full, he was standing straight, hat back on, like nothing happened. He did one final move, a spin that became a kneel, and ended with his hand flat to the floor, head up, eyes on Rick. No one knew who to cheer for. Scoreboard, tie. The standoff, the announcer, a local DJ named Frankie Crocker, walked